Get ready because we are diving deep into the biggest stories hitting the entertainment world right now. First up, the long-awaited biopic Michael is finally here, and all eyes are on the star power of Jaafar Jackson. Handpicked by his grandmother Catherine Jackson to portray his iconic uncle, Jaafar had to prove he was more than just his famous DNA to land the role. Despite having zero acting experience, he underwent a grueling multi-year audition process to master the legendary moves and spirit of the King of Pop.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 milliamp hour power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
We are also taking you behind the curtain of the most stunning live performance recreations in the film Michael. Director Anton Fuqua made sure the magic was authentic by filming at the very same Pasadena Civic Auditorium used for the original Motown 25 special. You will see Jaafar Jackson channel the absolute precision of the moonwalk and bring that same intensity to the screen that Michael Jackson once brought to the world stage. The story of how a legend found his own sound is taking center stage as well. We are looking at the pivotal era of the Off the Wall album, where Michael Jackson fought to break away from the shadow of his father, Joe Jackson, to forge his own creative path. With the help of legendary producer Quincy Jones, Michael transitioned from a child star into the solo powerhouse that would eventually redefine music history forever. Finally, we have a sobering update from the set of the upcoming How to Train Your Dragon sequel. Production at Sky Studios Elstree has been overshadowed by a tragic accident where a special effects technician suffered severe injuries involving a saw. As director Dean DeBlois continues work on this massive Universal project, the incident has sparked serious conversations regarding workplace safety in the UK film industry. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss another update. Ever wonder what it takes to step into the shoes of the most iconic performer in history? Imagine having the pressure of the entire world on your shoulders, then realizing that your own grandmother is the one giving you the ultimate seal of approval. We're talking about Jaafar Jackson, who is set to portray his uncle, the King of Pop, in the highly anticipated biopic Michael. It's a bit of cosmic symmetry, right? Seeing a new generation of Jackson royalty pick up the torch. But let me be clear, this wasn't some hand-me-down movie role. Jaafar actually grew up wanting to be a pro golfer, and despite having the musical DNA, he had zero formal acting experience and no training in the complex dance moves that defined Michael's career. When producer Graham King, the man behind Bohemian Rhapsody, first reached out, Jaafar's immediate reaction wasn't excitement, it was confusion. He thought, who is going to play Michael? And certainly didn't imagine it would be him. It's wild to think that after a global search spanning nearly 200 actors, the person who stood out wasn't a seasoned Hollywood veteran, but a nephew who felt a spiritual connection to the role. Director Anton Fuqua even admitted that he thought Jaafar was just acting at first, only to realize that the gentle, poetic soul he was seeing was just who Jaafar naturally is. But don't mistake this for an easy win. Jaafar went through a grueling, multi-year process of acting lessons and intense choreography to earn his spot on screen. It's a reminder that even when you're born into greatness, you still have to grind to achieve it. So, do you think Jaafar can capture the magic that made Michael a legend? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the films that define our culture. Catch Michael in theaters now. It's a journey you won't want to miss. Ever wondered what it actually felt like to stand in the shadow of a global icon? Today, we're peeling back the curtain on the new film, Michael, which doesn't just show us the King of Pop. It puts his legendary stagecraft front and center. From the humble dive bars of the Jackson 5 to the electric roar of Wembley, this movie is a love letter to the man who redefined what it meant to perform. Let's dive into 3 moments that truly capture the magic. First, we have to talk about the moment the world stood still. Motown 25. You know the one. That shimmering black sequin jacket, the fedora, and that impossibly fluid moonwalk. Director Anton Fuqua knew he couldn't just fake this, so he took the production back to the original Pasadena Civic Auditorium. Working with cinematographer Dion Beebe, they studied the original broadcast angles but gave it a modern, cinematic edge. And when Jaafar Jackson stepped onto that stage, It wasn't just an actor playing a part. It was like the king of pop had walked back into the room. Even the crew was stunned into silence. Then there's the Beat It music video. We all know the song, but the film highlights something most people miss: Michael's quiet influence on social change. At a time when MTV was hesitant to embrace Black artists, Michael didn't just break the glass ceiling. He shattered it with big-budget, narrative-driven art. The movie captures his risky decision to hire real-life gang members for the Beat It shoot. It shows us a side of Michael that wasn't just a pop star, but a man who cared deeply about giving people a seat at the table. It's a powerful reminder that his artistry was always inseparable from his humanity. Finally, we reach the Bad World Tour. This was Michael's first solo outing, a high-stakes transition that saw him trading the group dynamic for a leather-clad solo powerhouse persona. Fuqua actually kicked off the entire film shoot at Wembley Stadium, tossing Jaafar into the deep end to recreate the bad performance on day one. The gamble paid off immediately. The energy was so infectious that when the director yelled, "Cut!" the extras kept cheering, because they genuinely felt the electricity of a live show. BB's camera work is intimate here, capturing every beat of sweat and every frantic breath, making you feel the sheer physical toll of being the greatest showman on earth. Michael is in theaters now, and it's a must-watch for anyone who wants to see the blood, sweat, and absolute genius that went into every single beat. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments. What's the one Michael Jackson song that still gets you moving? Remember, legends don't just set the bar, they leave it so high that the rest of the world is still trying to reach it. Have you ever wondered how a global icon actually finds their voice? Before the moonwalk and the glittery gloves, Michael Jackson was a young man trapped in the shadow of his own success, desperate to prove he was more than just the lead singer of the Jackson 5. Today, we're diving into the pivotal moment of his life, the creation of his game-changing album, Off the Wall, and the struggle for freedom that defined his transformation into a true solo superstar. By 1979, Michael wasn't just looking for a hit, he was looking for an identity. While he'd already tasted success with the band, he felt the walls of the Jackson family machine closing in. As we see in the new film Michael, directed by Anton Fuqua, this wasn't just an artistic shift, it was a battle for his soul. You see, Michael had to constantly navigate the tension between his love for his family and the burning desire to forge his own path. It's a classic story of growth, but played out on the world stage. To make that leap, he needed a partner in crime, and he found it in the legendary Quincy Jones. Think of it as a meeting of the minds, the modern maestro and the burgeoning Prince of Pop. Together, they didn't just make an album, they redefined the boundaries of music, blending disco, soul, and R&B into something that felt entirely new. Just listen to the euphoria in Don't Stop, Till You Get Enough, or the relentless, high-octane energy of Workin' Day and Night. That wasn't just talent. That was a man finally breaking his chains and letting his joy spill over into the microphone. What's fascinating is how the film brings this era to life. Production designer Barbara Ling went to great lengths to recreate Michael's private sanctuary at Havenhurst, right down to the specific quotes from Thomas Edison and John Lennon that lined the walls. These small details remind us that Michael wasn't just a performer, he was a student of greatness, constantly feeding his own ambition. But even as Off the Wall became the soundtrack of 1980, the pressure from his father, Joe, remained a heavy burden, forcing him into one last commitment to the family with the Victory Tour in 1984. It's this internal conflict, the push and pull between duty and destiny, that makes his eventual ascent to thriller levels of fame feel so earned. Jaafar Jackson delivers a performance that does more than mimic the king of pop. He captures that specific, manic perfectionism that turned Studio Demos into history-making anthems. When you watch the film, you realize that Michael's greatness wasn't just handed to him. It was fought for, note by note, in the quiet corners of a studio. If you're a fan of music history, you need to see how the myth was born. Michael is in cinemas now, so grab your tickets and witness the story behind the magic. Do you think Michael's transition from a child star to an adult icon is the most impressive comeback in music history, or is there another artist who did it better? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the legends who changed the world. After all, the greatest music isn't just heard, it's lived. We often talk about the magic of Hollywood, the massive sets, the CGI, and the larger-than-life stories. But sometimes, the reality behind the camera is a lot darker than what we see on screen. A horrific accident has hit the production of Universal's live-action How to Train Your Dragon sequel, and it serves as a sobering reminder of the physical cost of filmmaking. Earlier this month, at the Sky Studios Elstree facility in the UK, a special effects technician was involved in a devastating accident involving a saw, resulting in the loss of multiple fingers. Despite the best efforts of medical teams to save them, the injuries proved too severe for reattachment. It's an absolute tragedy that turns the spotlight onto the safety standards within the UK film industry. This wasn't just an isolated freak accident. It hits at a time when unions like Bectu are sounding the alarm about broken turnarounds, that industry practice where crew members are pushed past their limits, leading to exhaustion and, inevitably, dangerous lapses in safety. When you prioritize speed and profit over the basic human need for rest, accidents are waiting to happen. Dean DeBlois is back at the helm for this sequel, and with the franchise pulling in over $2 billion globally, there is clearly massive pressure to deliver. But at what cost? As we look forward to the 2027 release date with a star-studded cast, including Gerard Butler and Cate Blanchett, we have to ask ourselves, is the spectacle worth the sacrifice of the people working behind the scenes? We want to know your take on this. Should the industry face stricter regulations on set hours to prevent these kinds of tragedies, or is this just an unfortunate reality of high-stakes production? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates on the stories that matter. Stay safe out there.